G'day! Today we're continuing on with Manufactoria 2022. For our move into health and fitness, the candidate picker chose Duncan, our first product designer. Duncan can tell anyone how to improve their body, even himself, especially himself. Could we design robots people would trust with their health? If anyone could make it happen, Duncan could. Alright, so let's start with our moderates. Modify each robot's tape by moving the first command to the end. Right, so we've got stampers now. So I guess the way that you would do this would be that you go down, query. No, that's the wrong button. That's not query. That's query. I don't even have to go that far. No, I've got to separate out then again. Sorry. The blue is your first one. So then we go... I need that there. Then we find out what your first one is. And we go... Doesn't matter what the next one is though. We do that. No, we get out. But he's got to come. Blue's got to go. All right, and in. The thing is, it doesn't matter what. I just basically need them to cycle back around and around on this one square. But I don't want them to mix. About that. Go out, up, and around. That, if you're blue, go that way. Doesn't work because then I also need just don't have enough room. Now, my bet is that nothing's going to come through white on this first one, so that doesn't much matter what we're telling white to do. But it should be that once you hit white, we then want to put in an order stamp, which will be, for this one, it would be blue, and then you finish. But we need to do this in a way that we can actually get this cycle to just sort of go through. So basically the question here is just, do you have anything left? If yes, go back. Maybe... This is just the amount of space I've got that's killing me. And I figure I've got to have this is going to be two separate sides because I need whatever the blue side does, it needs to end on a blue stamp. Whatever the other side does, needs to end on a red stamp. So we go... Can't really do too much in this area here because it would mean that both sides need that area. How do I fit this in? Maybe I'm sort of looking at too close-minded where I'm trying to put that. So let's try and start from the end and then work backwards. So we only need one of those. We just need two different stamps that sort of end at that same point. So just before those we need that and that. But again, that doesn't work because then they both need to be able to use this one spot to have one go that way, the other go that way. So this is about like... feels like this is about using these things and having these guys manage to like sort of work underneath each other. Feels like it's also quite possibly I'm just extremely overcomplicating this. Would you say put that guy there and that guy there, for example? No, that doesn't work because then the two guys would be running into each other. I don't really want this because then this white guy gets to just sort of like roll all the way out here, which we don't want because we need this guy to be using that. Just can't see it. I know exactly how to do this and I just can't fit it into a space. Alright, let's start with the shared things again. That can be shared, that can be shared, because only two things need to go to that spot. It's just that one of them has to be blue, one of them has to be red. That is all shared. This then has to make an initial decision of what color are you starting. And that has to be that way because we need it to end on blue and that one to end on red. The only thing that we need in the remainder of this space is a check that then causes this to loop over and over. Again, even going here, it's going to... killing me. That's all it has to do, just that twice. That's it. Need to be able to make that on both sides. So let's look at the available space that I have left on, say, this side. The thing that I can't work out is I need 3 width in order to do this. Like, this is a grid of 9 in my mind that I need. So how many grids of 9 can I get out of this thing? 2. Now what we could do is if I put 2 of these there, it would mean that red could then just sort of cut under and then come back across. So all red needs to do is be able to make these 2 turns ordered. It would then mean that somehow up here we can have that run, but again that doesn't work because we need to be able to have blue cycle around as well. Some of this, oh my goodness. Modify each robot's tape by moving the first command to the end. Produce empty robots as is. So producing empty robots is a requirement. So that is needed. Wait, so is this just saying I just need to put the last command on the end? So if I just, if I completely overcomplicated this, for example, if I just do this, is this just it? Nothing else to it. It is literally just. Oh my goodness. Idiot. Ugh. Yeah, overthinking it. Set robots that enter with tape beginning and ending with the same command, chunk the rest. Okay, so beginning and ending with the same command would mean that it needs to make a split, and whatever it starts off with blue, it has to be blue at the end. So it starts off, it goes blue. It's like, all right, great. Now, do you have any more? If yes, and the answer is blue. So I think I need 3 sort of like qualifiers here. It's sort of like... Doesn't make sense either. Blue. You then have nothing. How do you do it then to qualify it? Like, so for example, if I went, alright, it's blue, and then another blue one, it would be where the last one gets sent to. So for example, right, so it would be this, and you would say, if it's blue, you move to here. If it's red, you move back here. If it's blue, you move to here. Wait, if I got this right. I had a thought for a second there, I've lost it. Firstly, that's gone the wrong way. So it would now have to be that if it turns around, goes back, and it ends up having nothing there, then that's a fail, because that means that the last one's red. But if the first one's blue and there's only one, because it does say 0 to 11, there could be one that just has 1 on it, and if that's the case, then it would fall to its doom. Oh man, this is really getting me. I love it in that there's so few things to choose from, and it is doing my head in. With 7 billion humans, there was way too much option. I mean, that absolutely did my head in, but it's definitely getting me thinking. Yeah. If you're blue, come in here and you check again. If there's nothing else there, then you've passed. No, that's not a pass. That's a pass. You're fine. Which would then mean that this is the correct result. Then it's that, because then you go through again, and if your last one is the same as your first one, then that's great. You've done it. You end on a blue. So with red, you then go to another one that is like this. And if it's blue, it goes back to there. If it's red, it goes back to there. And if it's neither, if it's got nothing left, then it means it ended on a red. Ooh, alright, I think. I'm gonna just do my mirror. I missed something? That goes that one, so it's the opposite, so it should be that. And that. So just make sure I got this one right. If it's red, it comes down here. If there's nothing left, then congratulations, you're red. No, I've got that wrong. Because it's a mirror, I've got to have these mirror opposite. If it's red, go down here, check again. If it's red, go down here, check again. Great. If it goes this way and it's red, check here. If it's blue, come through, check here. And I think that's right. And we need to just put our robot in and cross everything. So initial clear fault there. Junk the rest. So, I mean, all we've got to do there is just put one more forward. Try again. Success. I mean, this one's a moderate as well. Oh, goodness. Remove the first two commands from the front of the tape, reverse them, and put them at the back of the tape. So I think that would just be, and let's just go this as simply as it seems as we can do it. That if the first one is red, next one down, blue. Next one is blue. If the next one is red, blue. And this one can go 2 to 9, so nothing's going to fall off the map at that first point. So then we go down. Doesn't really matter which one it is there. It's red, then red, blue, then blue. And we can have them all be accepted. Those guys won't exist either because they're only in groups 2. If that's it. Alright, what did I do wrong? Is it the opposite? Put them back. Reverse them. Okay, so I've just put those every color around the wrong way. Fine. Easily fixable. So we want to go blue, blue, blue. Go red, red, red. No, again, I've got that wrong. Did I do that too quick? For me again. He's got 2 reds. He's got a red. Gets stamped with a blue. Got a red. Gets stamped with a blue. Reverse the first 2 commands from the front of the tape. Remove the first 2 commands from the front of the tape. Reverse them. Put them at the back of the tape. How do you reverse them then? Because... Okay, so it seems like there's more... I understand what the problem is there then. So the problem is that it's not reversing them because it's just 2 reds. So we've got to just have the amount of possibilities available on this. So that would be... There's not too many. It's pretty limited, right? So if we go this guy... So there's 2 possibilities here. It'll either be blue and red, or one will be blue, one will be red. So if we then put a second one in, and a second one in, that should be all our possibilities. So it will be, if you go here and then here, you are now, I've got to reverse them. So it'll now be red and then blue. If you go here, you'll be red and red. Go here, you'll be reverse them. So it's blue and then red, right? Go here, it's red and then blue. If you here, it's blue and then blue. I think that's it. Success. I definitely skip through that. If I could click on something. I think it's just an achievement to click on them once. Alright, sorry for skipping through the success on that one. Gotten a medal for the number of assembly things in your line. I haven't got any medals. Dunk all robots that repeat adjacent commands. Alright, so that would be robot in, this, no, down one, that, blue and then red. So then we've got a second one and we've got a second one. How do we pick? Let's think about this. So if we were to build this, say like this, and it can go from 0, so we keep any that's sort of straight off the bat, fine. So if this goes blue and then blue, he's failed. But, well, there's no way to get there without having to same at this stage. This guy goes blue and then red. how do I get him to check again? And how do I know? Let's do this again. So we start off with a high point, I think. We need two that sort of share the workload here. So there's basically a path that is saying the last one you had was red, and we've got a path that's saying the last one you had was blue. So they start into the cycle here. Blue, last one that you had was blue. So the only... Let's just get this down one. Let's try and work this out. So these two, the blue. Well, the last one that you had was blue, and you've given us another blue. So you die. The last one you gave us, red. So you shift over here. Put that as a thingy. You then go that, 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 red, that. Last one you gave us was blue, so you go like that. The last one you gave us was red. Fail. You pass, you pass. The only mistake I've made here is that I need that guy to be able to deliver there. So if we just copy everything here and drag them down one. We just need to add that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy. I think that works. Oh. There, that guy needs face down. The idea is that everyone... So basically, that first assumption is that you're on red or blue. Once you've hit that first assumption, every next one you do swaps you to the other side. So this is sort of saying like, all right, well, you've hit blue, so now you've got to qualify past two blues. That one doesn't, you go back the other way and you'll come back and say, all right, well, do you have two in a row here? All right, now we're thinking. And we've just got one complexity high one here to finish it out. Turn every two blues into one red before reducing. Leave any excess blue at the end. Leave any excess blue at the end. I mean, that sounds like I've got to stamp. How would I leave it at the end? 0 to 35. Okay. So the first thing that we would do is we would check. So is this saying robots enter with 0 to 35 blue on their tape? Right, okay, so I get what it's saying. It's saying that every time there's two blue, that needs to be one red. But if there's an odd number, then that just stays on the end. Right, okay, so we go... Are you blue or red? And of course the answer is going to be it's blue. And then the question is... Now there's actually only one sort of question at the start of this, so we can probably shift a little bit further this way. Are you blue or red? If you're red, if we've hit red, then I think what we have to do is... How do we end up with an odd number at the end? Are we blue? Are we blue? No. See, if I do are we blue, and then say if not, then they can go, then that won't work because it means that any odd blues have already been... Are we blue, then that means that this should be blue, and then you leave. Get one blue stamp as you leave. Now if you've hit blue, what you would get is... Well, drag this down. You would get red. It doesn't even need to be dragged down. You're red and you go back in. Are you red? If you're red, then you leave. If you're nothing, then you leave. Are you blue? Are you red? Are you blue? Are you red? I think would also be that you get stamped once for blue, because you've had one extra blue. Oh, actually, we can just turn that guy that way. Yeah. I think that's it. That seems a bit... Alright, tell me where... Is it... Explain that one to me, why he's wrong. What did you start with? Turn every 2 blue into 1 red. Leave any excess blue at the end. So he's now got 2 on him. His goal is 1 red. Takes a blue. Takes a blue. Stamp him with 1 red. Comes out. He loses his 1 red. Right, okay, so we then have to just go, we were close. It's just that. And that. Alright, what do we got wrong this time? So he's got 3. So he loses 2, he gets 1. He lost his red. Okay, so similarly, just need to that here we make 1 red. And we make it red. This guy here. We can put that guy there and get rid of that one. Oh no, we still need him anyway, don't we? How's that? There we go, we got there. Nice. Alright, well there we go. We could probably call that one there. Just happily successfully through body division. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later.